So before we do that, let's look at the create view statement that is created behind the scenes. So to do this, what we need to do is firstly go to that ABAP catalog SQL view name. I double clicked in it, or I copied it, and I've right clicked and selected show SQL statement. So this is actually what's happening in that statement. Now, if you remember, this flight by airport view was comprised of two views. The main view was the flight view, but you can also see the flight connections view. Now the flight connections view, of course, is aliased by A0. Now the interesting part on this create statement though is the join syntax. And as mentioned in other videos, the joins are automatically created via the association. The association between flight and flight connection is based on two key fields. Those two key fields being the airline and flight connection fields. Now also you should note that the type of join being used is a left outer with a cardinality of many to one. Now these again were specified in the previous views association blocks. Plus you've got an additional join which is added based on the client or manned column. So to actually have a look at the view in the end user tool, which is the SAP front end, let's go to our SAP GUI. So I'm going to log into that system. Of course, we're going to use the client 100 and our SHA user. So I'll type client 100, user SHA, and then my password. Now, what we're going to have to do is run a transaction. That transaction is rsrts_odp_dis. So we can run that in a new window by typing /n and then that command. Now this can be used for testing analytical CDS views without having to create the final analytic query, so it's really useful. So I'll execute that query. This is what it looks like. And you've got this ODP context select menu, so you can see that there are other data sources available. However, we're going to be using the ABAP core data services, so we can leave it as it is. Now for the ODP name, what we need to do is go back to our view. You've got a drop down, of course, but the easiest thing for us is to go back to our CDS in Eclipse, copy that ABAP catalog SQL view name, and then all we need to do is paste that here into SAP GUI. So, I'll just paste it in. And then what I'll do on the top left hand side, you can see we've got this execute button. So what's going to happen is we'll get a lot of information on the view useful to an analytics expert. So this could be potentially used by analytic experts to find issues with the CDS views. Now, if you want to see more information, you've got this standard query button. Now this gives a user an interface with basic analytical functionality. So if we select it, what we'll see, if we click on close, what we'll see is there's an aggregation of all your measures. So you can see all your measures totally aggregated. And also you've got a selection of dimensions which you can use to refine the measures. So in a simple example, if we press the airport from, what we'll be able to do is filter on an airport and look at a connection. So you'll see that you've got this little icon with the arrow pointing down. If you were to select airport from, we can drill down those rows. So here we can see all of the airport from and the airfare, the occupied information. But also if we drill down on airport to, we can see the airfare price from an airport going from, for example, Berlin to Frankfurt. So you've got a list of available flights plus, of course, any corresponding measures. Now, don't pay too much attention to the data or the values shown in these measures because it's a demo database and it could be unreal